Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton News Daily. Sean Dyche has given his press conference ahead of Everton's trip to Chelsea at the weekend. He confirmed that Dominic Calvert-Lewin won't be involved in the trip. There was hope that Calvert-Lewin would be included in the Everton squad. He'd obviously trained a couple of days last week. There was even some talk last weekend he may make the bench for Everton's game against Brentford. He wasn't in the squad for that game, which led to hope being there that he'd be in the squad this week. This is what the manager had to say when he was pressed on Calvert-Lewin's inclusion.
We're still monitoring the situation, being careful. He's being careful with his body, trying to give him every opportunity. It wasn't overly in my thinking for the Chelsea game, regardless of anything else, because obviously the window comes and you can hopefully use that even more wisely. So, the international window, the international break, use that even more wisely. So, we're just monitoring his body and he's monitoring it too. Felt something that we've had to be careful with. That's all, and he's had to be careful with because, like I said, we're trying to get him sort of as strong as he was 2 years ago and get him back to that statistical level as well as what we see and how he feels.
There you go, a bit disappointing. Hopefully, after the international break, the Everton striker will be ready to be involved in the last 10 games of the season. We can all but hope. Sean Dyche was asked about on-loan Everton midfielder Dele, who has been in Turkey with Besiktas. There's been lots of stories coming out of Turkey. One's lately saying that he's not going to be considered for any more games for Besiktas this season, which is really, really worrying and disappointing. This is what Dyche had to say on the Dele situation.
Him in this situation?
No, I'll wait during the international innings. The news is sort of suggesting that he's not going to be involved there, so I'll wait and find out during the international window. We'll have to wait and see, and sort of judge things probably in the summer now, when we all get back together, because I'm pretty sure he's contracted till the end of the season there. So, like I say, we'll pick that up during the international break.
There you go. We'll see what happens with that one. Sean Dyche was also asked about Conor Coady's situation. Obviously, the defender is on loan from Wolves. Everton do have an option to buy him. While Frank Lampard was the manager, that seemed like an absolute certainty. But obviously, Coady has lost his place in the team over the last couple of weeks. And Dyche was pressed on whether Everton would make a move permanently for the on-loan Wolves defender. This was his response to that question.
No, not this time. He's been an immaculate professional, which everyone knows, or everyone in the game has always suggested he is. And now having worked with him, I can see why, because he is. And, the fine margins of football and who to play for what reasons. And I just made a call on it, that was all. But he's a high-quality footballer, that's for sure. Fantastic attitude and a leader. Like I say, fine margins between who we're picking at the moment, because there's a number of players who could argue the case of getting in. Obviously, it enhances things more if the team are winning. Enhances it less for your chances if the team are winning. Not always, but sometimes. But at the end of the day, the margins are fine. There's a lot of good players here that I'm trying to keep alive because things change quickly.
Take one for the summer.
Yeah, look, I try and stay open with the players. I'm still pretty new here, really. You know what I mean? It's so there's a lot of relationships to continue building, but I think they're well aware of the situation themselves. So, over due course, then we'll be hopefully keeping these lines of communication open with all parties.
That one is probably the most sensible decision. I think, obviously, any contract talk, the same as Abdoulaye Doucouré, I imagine the same with Alexander Iwobi. At least wait until the summer to see what league we're in, first and foremost. The Coady one is obviously complicated. We've got Michael Keane, who's 30 plus, Conor Coady, be 30, James Tarkowski's 30. Do we want all of those centre-backs at that age? That's another consideration for Everton to take into account. So best wait until the end of the season and see what happens with that one. We know Saturday's game is a big game. They all are now. Everton fighting for their lives. It is tight. There are a lot of teams involved in this relegation battle. In fact, there's just 3 points between Crystal Palace, who are in 12th, and Bournemouth, who are in 18th. That is how tight it is right now. Sean Dyche was asked, is it harder that there's so many teams involved in this year's relegation battle?
I'm not really worried what it makes it. I only concentrate on us. I'm well aware of what others are doing, quite obviously. I'm aware of the table. But it's about continuing to build on what we're doing. And I think we've shown strong signs of improvement in the areas we thought it needed it. The shape's been good, the energy's been good, the commitment to play and to what we want to do has been good. We can still find better pockets of football at times, but that comes with belief and confidence, etc., etc. And, you know, the reality is that you're playing some good sides as well. You know, Brentford got a stronger hold on the game second half, but they're a good outfit, you know, and we saw it through in a different way, and that's pleasing for me, you know, finding different ways to see wins, to get wins, different ways to get points. You know, these are all part of a season's work in the Premier League, that I do know. And when you are playing well and things are looking after themselves, weirdly they do kind of look after themselves. You know, teams are in really good form and they get that little roll kind of mentality, but it has to start somewhere, and I think we're putting the building blocks in to start that kind of feeling when you can put wins together and back-to-back results, and I think we're showing signs of that.
The referee for Saturday's game has been confirmed. It is Darren England. He will be the referee. Craig Pawson is the fourth official. And Chris Kavanagh is the VAR official. That is for Everton's trip to Stamford Bridge. Kicks off at 5:30 on Saturday night. Jordan Pickford has been called up to the England squad for their Euro 2024 qualifying games against Italy and the Ukraine. And Seamus Coleman has been called up to the Republic of Ireland squad for their matches against Latvia and France. So good luck to both of those lads, obviously following on from Nathan Patterson's international call-up as well earlier in the week. That is it for the News Daily. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and if you want more videos, including daily live videos, become a Toffee TV Premium member. The link is in the description, and the QR code will be on the screen in about 2 seconds. See you later.